everybody, my name is Katie, also known here on YouTube as the Celestial Homebody, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour of my craft room slash studio slash workspace slash she shed. This has been many months in the making. I actually filmed the entire process of us building this shed from start all the way to finish. There is a playlist here on the channel if you're interested in watching the whole process of me designing everything from where the door and the windows were gonna go, the furniture layout, putting in the wallpaper, painting, all of that stuff, as well as shopping, which is the most fun part for all of the furniture and decor that is here in the shed. Everything is in vlog form in that playlist, so you can check it out after this video if you want to. So for a little context, like I said, my name is Katie. I am a full-time crochet artist, digital artist, and a full-time content creator. So I spend a lot of time in my studio crocheting. I do Cricut stuff, I make stickers, I paint, pottery, pretty much if it's an art or a craft, I have dabbled in it at one point or another. So this studio space was really a vision that I had many months ago as my brand was starting to grow and I started running out of room for storage inside of the house. So we had this 12 by 20 foot shed built here on our property to act not only as my workspace, but also as a place for storage, as well as kind of doubling as a small apartment for guests should we have them come and stay with us. So today I'm going to take you around the craft room and show you around. I'll put up some clips here of what the shed looked like when we first got it. It did not look anything like this. It kind of looked like a shipping container, and we put many hours into, we being my husband and I, into making this space cozy and homey as opposed to dark, damp, and echoey. And the door is kind of where that all started. I put this stained glass window cling on the door, not only for privacy, but also because I absolutely love the way that it creates like a rainbow burst effect inside of the shed. And I actually have this same window cling on almost all of the windows in the shed, with the exception for one, which I'll point out and why that is. And then hanging on the door here, I have this lovely quilted bow that a friend made for me, and I just love it. You guys are going to pick up on a theme that pastel is my favorite color palette, and I don't get to use my favorite color palette anywhere else in the house in terms of interior design. So when it came to my shed, I was just like, we're just, if I find it pretty and I like it, even if it doesn't match perfectly, it's going in the shed because this is my happy creative space. So you're also going to notice that I have a lot of things from subscribers and friends, which I'm very thankful for. Speaking of which, over here, this is one of a few granny square tapestries that I have. So like I mentioned, I am a crochet content creator. So when I reached 10,000 subscribers here on the channel, I did a community project where I asked subscribers and members of the channel to send a granny square that they had made in whatever style they wanted to, and that I would be making tapestries out of them. So this is one of the very special tapestries to me. Each one of these squares was made by a subscriber, and I consider them friends, of course. But you're going to see a couple of these around the shed. They're very special to me. Down below, we have a little fireplace here. So this fireplace is from Amazon. And side note, I will link for you all of the things that I can link that's here in the studio. A lot of stuff I got on Amazon. We got some stuff at IKEA, and I'll point those out as we go, but I'll link in the description box for you everything that I can. There will be a Amazon storefront that is just shed studio stuff if you're interested. There are, however, a few things that I got at like Marshall's or Home Goods, TJ Maxx, so unfortunately I can't link those, but I'll try to do a good job about pointing out what came from those locations if you're interested in getting your hands on some too. But anyways, this little fireplace here does put out heat, as well as, of course, light up to look like a fireplace. So the shed, I'm sure I'm gonna get this question. As of right now, the shed does not have a mini split or any sort of actual heating and air system that's permanent. For right now, we're just using portable heaters like this little fireplace one, which has done the trick perfectly. And then during the summer, we'll have a portable AC unit that will come in. Down the line, we would like to get a mini split, which will likely go right above one of these windows over here. But for right now, we are just making do with what we have. The shed is insulated, both the walls and the ceiling is insulated. So when we do warm up the space or cool down the space, it generally stays warm or cool for many, many hours. In fact, it's a little warm in here right now, despite it being like 30 degrees outside today, just from this one little heater. And then right here, I actually have a dining chair. This is from our dining room. We brought it in here because my husband Ryan has been helping me in here, stirring some nights, making custom hand-painted safety eyes for amigurumi plushies, which you can see right here. Here's a pair of them. So if I mention safety eyes, which I will multiple times in this video, this is what I'm referring to if you are not a crocheter. So when he comes out here to help me, we just pull up that chair over to the large desk over there so that we can sit there next to each other and work together, which has been really special. This little pillow that looks like it's cross-stitched, I got at Marshall's. It says nothing a nap can't fix, and I love both that sentiment and how cute the pillow is and the colors and the bows on it. Love it, had to have it. Right here, this is just some filming equipment that's not normally there, and then next to it we have our on-air sign, which I found at Menards for clearance for like $1.50. So I was like, sure, we'll get it, and I can turn it on when I'm filming for funsies. Over here we have a little coat hook. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and it's just a little pink bow. And then this light switch plate cover I also got at Hobby Lobby. The trim we added, this did not come with the shed, but you can see that in one of the vlogs that I've mentioned. The wallpaper that you see in the shed is from Amazon. This is actually the same wallpaper that I had in my old office, and I loved it so much that I decided to use it here in the studio as well. And then up here we have a projection screen. Projector screen. Projection? There we go. Projection screen for the projector. So this is great for movie nights, and also if I'm doing live streams, sometimes I'll have like chat up on this. This actually little pull is from a friend and subscriber, Mary Beth. She gave this to me at one of the events that I was at, that I met her at, and it's meant to go in your car, like on your rearview mirror, but because I love the aesthetic of it, I have always kept it in my office, even when we were in the older, smaller office. And when we came in here, I was like, I need something to pull that projection screen down. So I am using this as a little pull for it, and it's special because it goes right next to my subscriber Granny Square tapestry. Now let's move this way into the little kitchenette area. So as you can see, I have a really fun mint green retro fridge. This fridge is made by Frigidaire, and I got it at Home Depot. It is a refrigerator and freezer combo. I was just going to put a little tiny mini fridge in here just for some cold water and stuff. We are only like a few steps away from the house, so it's not that big of a deal for me to go in the house to get nourishment. But we have limited freezer and refrigerator space inside the house, so we figured if anything were to go out here, it's kind of like having a separate garage freezer, which I know a lot of Americans do. So we have extra cooling space out here if we go to Sam's Club and buy bulk something and don't have room in our freezer in the house, we'll put it out here. On top here, we have a little tray. It's just a little paper tray that I keep all of the remotes in. We have a ton of remotes for in here. We've got one for the sound system, for the projector, for the overhead lights and fans. And then these are a lot of fun. I wanted to point these out. I used to use these in my classroom actually, and they were a lifesaver for me. So these two remotes control all of the mood lighting in the shed. So when I come in here here in the morning, I will just hit the all button and it will turn all of the lamps and everything on. The overhead lights are controlled by the switch right here. But all of the lamps, the cosmic couch neon sign, everything that's not an overhead light essentially is controlled by these. And then at the end of the day, we can just turn them off. And as you can see, all of the lights, all of the lamps turned right off. So I got these on Amazon. These are, I think they might be considered smart plugs. I'm not sure, but I'll link them for you. They're just little things that you put into the outlet and then plug your lamp into that, and it turns your outlet into a remote controlled on and off situation. Over here we have some fake foods. This is from inside the house. I brought it out here just because I thought that it looked cute, and we have a toddler and I didn't want her accidentally eating these like my grandma did that one Christmas. So I brought them out here because they match the aesthetic. Over here we have my little Keurig. So I do spend many hours out here working at my desk, and while yes, I could go inside the house to make myself coffee, inside the house we only have a coffee pot. So when it's just me, it's nice to just be able to Keurig. I know it doesn't make the best coffee. All you coffee connoisseurs out there are going to be rolling your eyes at me that I have a Keurig, but it works for me. I don't need a Nespresso. What's the fancy coffee maker? The French press, right, Ryan?
That is one of them. Yeah.
Okay. Ryan used to be a barista, so all of my coffee questions, I refer to him. And then over here, so this is a fun little area. You can see the popcorn maker. This is from Amazon, and we use it when we have little movie nights out here. And we're going to start doing some more live streams here on the channel, and I thought that it would be fun to have like popcorn and chat with you guys during those live streams. Here we have a few little snacks. We've got some Junior Mints, which are my go-to theater snack. We've got peanut M&Ms for Ryan, who's filming, and also some yogurt pretzels, which I need to refill because they're almost gone. But these are just little snacks for while we're working or while we're watching something in here. This backsplash is peel and stick from Amazon, and I didn't love how it went together. You can watch the whole process of me figuring this out in one of the vlog episodes, but it wasn't the best. It also doesn't stick very well. As you can see here, it's kind of peeling up, so I need to re-stick that down with tape or something like that. This bow shelf hanger is from Hobby Lobby, and then these two cups are from IKEA, and then this big one here is from Marshall's, and it's Miffy, and I love it. And I use these with my Keurig for coffee in the mornings. Up here we have this little shelf. The shelf and the brackets are both from IKEA. We have a little bowl here full of Lindors. These are coconut Lindors, which I don't really like. I got them because the color. But they just kind of sit here for aesthetics. And I suppose if any of you guys want to come over and have a movie night, you can help yourself to some Lindors. This is a Miffy salt and pepper shaker. Both of them are actually filled with salt for the popcorn machine. And then we just have some little trinkets up here. These are some of my favorite things. I have had these for, oh my gosh, like 3 years at this point. I made these for my old office. They are fake cakes. So I got like a styrofoam cake base and then use lightweight spackle mixed with acrylic paint to decorate them, and then stuck them to the wall, and I absolutely love them. Circling back over this way, we have an Animal Crossing lamp that I got on Facebook Marketplace, so I have no idea where it's from, but it does say Animal Crossing New Horizons on it. This is an Alacrini, really beautiful, well done tapestry that I got from a subscriber, and I absolutely love her. And then up here, keeping with the fake food theme, because I love fake food, these are my cereal bowl wall art. This is actually part of my job, is I make these and sell them on Etsy. I have for gosh, going on like 5 years at this point, and they are some of my favorite pieces of decor because they're fun and they're quirky and they look so realistic, and people are like, how is it defying gravity? So yeah, those are my cereal bowl wall art. I had to represent my own product out here in my studio, of course. As you can see on these windows, we have some more of that stained glass window cling, which creates the most beautiful rainbow effect on the couch as well as on the walls, depending on the time of day. Over here on the side of the refrigerator, I have some art prints that either subscribers sent me, like this one is from a friend and subscriber. Some of these I picked up during my convention days. I like to vend at conventions. I sell my crochet at conventions like Comic-Con, and every time I go to a convention, I can't help but purchase some prints. So on the refrigerator here, I have some prints, and I do change these out because I have a ton of prints, but I can't commit to one spot to putting them. So I just have them hanging up with these little macaroon magnets here that I got on Amazon, and I'll link those for you as well too. But down here, this one is actually from one of my favorite YouTubers, Catnip. She is a UK-based illustrator, and I purchased a few pins from her a few months ago, and that came in my package, and I just loved it. So I didn't buy that at a convention. It's just something that my pack ratness couldn't get rid of, so it's hanging on my refrigerator now. This dresser right here is from Wayfair, and when I first got it, I wasn't sure how I felt about the top of it with the color. Kind of reminded me of popcorn, like buttered popcorn, but it all works out because it's right next to the popcorn maker. The drawers are fairly shallow, but it's okay because they still hold what I need. In fact, in this one right here is just all of my pods for my Keurig, but you can see how shallow the drawers are. So not ideal if you want to use this dresser for like clothes or anything like that, but as a little storage system for my kitchenette area here in the office, it works just fine. Working our way over here, down below, you might have spotted a bag of stuffing. That is for when I make crochet plushies. I always have to have stuffing nearby, obviously, to stuff the stuffed animal plushies. And then over in the corner, I have my easel, which I have not brought out in a hot minute. On here, I just have something that I painted a few months ago. It's just a little celestial sky that honestly kind of worked color-wise, so I just left it on the easel. But this, as you can see, it's well loved, pretty well used, but we got to bring that out soon. It's been a minute since I've painted. And then up above it, we have another granny square tapestry with some beautiful subscriber-made granny squares. And then along the back wall here, we might need to turn off the neon sign because in person it doesn't flicker, but for whatever reason on camera, you might see it flickering. So let's turn that off so it doesn't give anybody a stroke. So this is the Cosmic Couch. Here on the channel, my husband and I, who's also a crocheter, have a fiber arts related podcast. This is where we sit as the podcast set. But what's great about this couch is that it also doubles as a lounging area slash bed. If we do ever have guests, it actually came with another ottoman that we can put in here, and then it turns into a larger than king size bed. So that is fantastic. We have a lot of family that lives out of state and they don't visit often, but for once in a blue moon that they do, we have this as an option for them to sleep. So that was really important to us when designing the shed, that we also utilized it as a functional space for our family who we love and want to visit more often. Above the couch, we have the Cosmic Couch neon sign, which as you can see, we had to turn off, but this I got custom made on Amazon. I just like the vibe of a neon sign. It's fun, it's whimsical. And then above, we have this gigantic shelf. This is from IKEA. I believe it is called the Lack shelf, but it is I think it's the longest one that they offer, but I liked it because it's like a floating shelf look, so we don't have to have brackets underneath it. And then on top of it, we just have some tchotchkes, knickknacks, some little plushies that I've crocheted. We have Kiki and Lala here, the Sanrio characters, two of my favorites, as well as their Funko Pop in the middle. We have Illuma from Super Mario Galaxy, and then we have the artist pig over there whose name is Picasso. We've got a little Miffy inspired bunny at the end there. So this is just kind of a shelf full of fun knick-knacky things, and then smack dab in the middle we have the house on the moon, which is my brand logo for the Celestial Homebody. I had that acrylic sign custom made on Etsy, and it was just a clear back, and then I painted the back purple, which reminds me, I didn't mention for the door is painted purple, as you might have noticed. This is actually a custom color that I got from Sherwin-Williams that I had custom mixed because it is the exact shade of my brand color, and I really like the door painted purple because it reminds me of the Friends door, and that is one of my favorite shows, so it's like a nice little homage to one of my favorite things. Anyways, back over here to the beautiful rainbow corner of the room. I'll step over to the other side here to show you my dolphins. So this is actually a vintage, I guess you could call it, from the 1980s little dolphin sculpture slash coffee table that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace a few months ago, and it was in rough shape. I decided to paint it kind of inspired by Lisa Frank. If you grew up in like the 80s and then they had a resurgence in the early 2000s, when I was in elementary school, Lisa Frank was all over the covers of notebooks and pencil cases and binders and folders for school supplies. You might recognize Lisa Frank by like neon rainbow psychedelic colors. That's kind of what inspired the paint colors in this. However, since, as you can tell, most of the color scheme in the shed is more muted, softer pastel colors, I went with a pastel pink and purple dolphin, and I just picked up paint from Sherwin-Williams and painted the little sculpture. Now, it's meant to be a coffee table, but I'm still working on getting a custom piece of glass for it, and honestly, I kind of like it not having glass on top because I feel like that would increase my risk of busting my shin open hitting it as I walked by. And it's just kind of a nice little center sculpture piece, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense logistically, but I like it. And as I mentioned, that's kind of the point of the shed. If I liked it, like it went in my studio because it makes me happy, and as Marie Kondo says, it brings me joy. So it's in here to fuel my creative process. Next to the couch, I have this little, I think it's meant to be like a stool that you pop a squat on, but I got it at Marshall's and it was on clearance because the paint job was really not great. I guess it was chipped, so I went ahead and touched up the paint on it, and then I also painted, this was a red heart, but I painted it in the same teal blue shade that I used for the dolphin sculpture to just kind of tie it in, and the red was a little bit too harsh in combination with all those other pastel colors on it, but I did leave the I love you text on top red because it looks like a conversation heart, and I love that. I'm using it as a little side table for me to put my coffee or drink or crochet projects, hooks, whatever I'm using on while I'm sitting on the couch crocheting. And then right here, this is one of my favorite things in the shed. I actually have two of them. This is a Lily of the Valley lamp. Lilies of the Valley are some of my favorite flowers. Shout out my Animal Crossing friends. And I like that it is an arc lamp, so we can turn it really any way. If I need some extra light here over the couch as I work, we can turn it that way and it provides some extra light. But I honestly like having it going this way because when I film my videos normally, I sit at my computer over there, and with the camera angle, you can see that arc, and I think it's really beautiful. So I mentioned the projection screen, but I did not mention the projector. So this little projector is from Amazon, and it is a smart projector. It is hanging right there on the ceiling. When designing this shed, I made sure to ask for an outlet installed on the ceiling, so that way it would be easy access for the projector and we wouldn't have to run an extension cord all the way down the wall. It's a nice little projector. We do have a separate sound system behind the couch here. It's a sound bar just to help with the sound a little bit, because the projector speakers are very small and fairly far away from the couch, so the sound gets kind of hollow and shallow. And then for the overhead light in here, which I've turned off for the videos so that you can see it better, this chandelier, I guess we could call it, is from IKEA, and I love the rattan look of it. It is so beautiful, so cute. It is a pain to dust though, so just keep that in mind. The cord is also from IKEA, and the bulb is as well. This is what it looks like turned on. It gives a nice warm glow. So I wanted to do something like this over the couch because I wanted the chandelier or whatever light fixture I hung here to be centered over the couch, which, as you can see, this one is. This light fixture over here was intended to go centered over the couch. Unfortunately, when designing the shed, I overestimated how far over the couch would go. So this light is much too far over. These lights are actually just from Menards. They're just screw-in cloud-shaped lights. So I have 2 of them. And then these little tiny fans are from Amazon. I'll link these for you as well. They're very tiny, but they are quite mighty for how small they are. I haven't had to use them too frequently yet because it's been winter here. And then as you can see, the shed ceiling is metal. And one day I would like to cover the sheet metal just to help with sound insulation and echoing a little bit, and also help with insulation a little bit more. But as I mentioned, the insulation in the shed is quite good, but the metal is definitely reminding me of the shipping container that we started with. This brings us to the piece de resistance of the studio, and that is my yarn storage. So as a plushie crocheter, I have a lot of yarn, and believe it or not, yes, I do use all of it, every single color. I'm constantly having to restock more because this is my full-time job, is making plushies. And speaking of which, up on top you can see some other plushies that I have made. Some of these actually are from friends and subscribers, but a lot of them are made by me. In the middle there, I have my Shopify shop counter, so that ticks in real time whenever I get a sale on my website. I wish that it would also take into account Etsy sales, but unfortunately it doesn't. So that is from the website only. And we're at just over 1,000 sales, which I am so incredibly grateful for. Over at the end there, I have my Eda bag with some of my favorite pins. I take that with me to conventions as I'm filming to hold camera equipment and lots of things, my wallet, phone, all that good stuff. And I like to collect pins at conventions as well. If you could not tell, I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. That is Celeste from Animal Crossing. I actually love her so much. I have her tattooed right here. And she is my daughter's namesake. We named our daughter Celeste. So that is my Eda bag that I like to display. Even though it's not a plushie, kind of sticks out, but it's still one of my favorite things, so it goes in here. So my yarn storage is organized by color. As you can see, we've got our neutrals at the bottoms. We have our variegated yarns down at the very bottom there, to the blacks, whites, browns, oranges, so on and so forth. Looks like I do need to restock a few of my reds. Actually, I'm getting quite low on red yarn, but that's a different story. That's a different topic for a different video. So this yarn storage, I'm sure I'll get tons of questions about. This is actually the Billy bookcase system from IKEA. Billy is one of their cheapest, best bookshelf options, but the doors are really what give it that nice finish that make it look really professional. These doors, I believe, are called the Oxfords. I got the ones that have glass, obviously, but I know that they have different kinds of them where you could do a completely solid door, you could do half and half where just the top is glass. Of course, I wanted to be able to see all of my yarn storage from the outside without having to open every single door to find what I needed, so I went with the solid glass option, but I will link these for you as well. You guys have probably heard about the Billy bookcase. You can probably find them on Facebook Marketplace. I know a lot of people sell their Billy bookcases. I did decide to go with a white, although I would have liked to do like their birch option, but unfortunately at the time of purchasing this entire system, they were completely out of the birch doors, so I felt that it would have looked a little wonky to have the birch colored actual bookshelf units and then the doors be white, so we went all white, and I think it turned out okay. It's very nice, clean, and crisp looking. The poles on here, though, as you can tell, they're little clouds, little sideways clouds. These are from Hobby Lobby, and I got these because the little knobs that came on the Oxford doors, they have no like curviness to them. They are very straight and very small, so I was having a hard time when I had armfuls of yarn coming in here to put things away. I had a really hard time grabbing those little poles and knobs, so if you have like dexterity issues, or even if it's just cold in here, honestly, before I've turned on the heater and my hands are a little stiff, they were very difficult to grab, so I would highly recommend switching out the knobs for something different. These are a lot easier for me to grab, although because the poles are so close to each other, we did have to turn the clouds sideways. They would not fit going the other way, the way that they're intended, but I think that they look okay. The clouds definitely fit, my brand theme being celestial and all, and I like the little touch of gold. They add a little air of classiness, which we love. Then moving over here, this is really where we get to the meat and potatoes of the craft room, because this is where all of the magic happens, most of it. The podcast is filmed over there, and of course I need my coffee to fuel me, but you get what I mean. So over here in the corner, let's start behind. So I have a few crates back here that you can hardly see. These are from Joann's, rest in peace Joann's. This is where I keep my fur yarn, and then on top I have a Tia from Animal Crossing that I crocheted. She's my favorite villager. I have a little Animal Crossing Isabel that a friend made for me, and then my Applejack piggy bank. And yes, you will notice a theme that despite my big age, I do enjoy stuffed animals, trinkets, tchotchkes, piddly crap as my mom would call it. Right here I have my painting cart, so this I can easily pull out with my easel when I want to paint. I have my puff paints on here, acrylic paints, as well as my fancy like painter's acrylic paints, and then underneath the top here we have paint brushes. So this is really nice for me to bring from one side of the room to the other. It also acts as an additional tabletop over at the couch if I need it on the other side of the couch from where my side table is. And then on top I have a custom sign that I had made on Etsy that is a cloud with a little moon and star sparkle that says like and subscribe. By the way, we'll pause right now. Go ahead and go do that while I take a little water break. Like and subscribe. And hey, if you don't want to stick around, you can always take it back, I promise. Back behind here, I have a yardstick for the occasional times that I do sew. Sewing, to be honest, is not one of my favorite hobbies, but I do have a sewing machine that I use occasionally, so I keep my yardstick back here just kind of out of the way. Up top here we have another one of my subscriber Granny Square tapestries. Didn't they do just an amazing job? How beautiful is this work? I'll move this one so that you can see it. And hey, if you're a subscriber who sent me one of these and you don't normally get to see the top of it, leave me a comment, tell me which one your square is to refresh my memory, and tell everybody else which is your square. Show off, because this is amazing work. Here we have a little dino holding a boba tee that I just made. This is one of my recent crochet patterns that I'm coming out with soon. Up on top of this little storage system, we have a wax melter from Home Goods, might have been from Marshall's, one of the two. They're kind of one and the same, but I don't like to actually light candles because I don't want the soot to get everywhere, so I like using wax melters because we still like the nice smells. What this is sitting on though is my storage for all of my safety eyes. So like I mentioned, I make these for amigurumi plushies. So I got this storage system at Marshall's, and it's actually two stacked on top of each other. I know I get a lot of questions about this, especially fellow crocheters ask where I got this so that they can store their eyes as well. Unfortunately, I can't link it for you because you guys know Marshall's, it's like a treasure hunt, but I did find these in like the makeup storage area, kind of near where the storage stuff for desks are. So you might be able to find something similar. The bigger unit here is on top, and then there is just the 3-row on the bottom. So that is two stacked on top of each other. And then next to it, this I also got at Home Goods. This is where I keep my paper and laminate for making stickers, since that is a large part of my business, is making waterproof stickers. I also sell them at markets and conventions as well as online. And on top, we have a little soot sprite that I made just chilling out here just to bring a little bit of joy. This lamp, I believe, is from Amazon, but I actually got this on Facebook Marketplace, and I was so excited when I found that. It is broken in the back, so I did have to glue it together, but you can't see it anyways. And then this vase I got from Hobby Lobby. These are Real Touch fake tulips from Amazon, and they look very realistic. Tulips are some of my favorite flowers, along with Lily of the Valley. And then these pastel baby breath I got at Michael's, and I just love the little bit of whimsy that they bring. But I have a black thumb, so I can't be trusted with actual flowers, so fake is the way to go. And then over here on this window, we have more of that stained glass window cling, as well as some beautiful little sun catchers. So all of the curtains that you see in here, I also purchased on Amazon. They're very short. So obviously we have short windows in here, and the desks actually go under both of the windows that have curtains on them. So I couldn't do like floor length curtains. I opted not to do curtains on the other windows near where the kitchen was, just because I didn't feel like they needed them. There's enough going on over there aesthetically. I didn't feel like I needed them. But when I'm filming, sometimes the light comes through in a weird way, and it is nice to have the curtains to filter that light a little bit. So that is why I have curtains on the windows over here, as well as on the other side of the desk too, which we'll get to. Speaking of the desk, you guys might have noticed how big this desk is. I am 6 feet tall, and I could probably lay comfortably across this desk. It is ginormous. I actually call this unit Mega Desk. If you're a fan of The Office, then you know that reference. So this entire desk system is from IKEA, but I did kind of piecemeal it together. I don't think any parts of this was like a standard. You can just go and buy the desk there. It's all different Frankenstein parts put together, but I measured the shed before going and purchasing to make sure I would maximize the amount of desk space that we had without it being too big, obviously. And I think that we did a pretty good job with the spacing of it. So first and foremost, you're going to need a desktop. In my case, I have 3 desktops. This is one, and then over here, you can see the seam where the other desktop starts. And then we have a third shorter desktop right here. This third one is actually shorter as well as wider. I will try my best to find that one for you. I know when I purchased it though, it was clearanced out, like they were no longer going to be producing it, but I will for sure link these tabletops for you because those they still offer. Then to hold up the desk, you're going to need legs. So these are just little cheapy legs. I think these are like $6 a piece from IKEA. We did 2 on this side and then 1 in the middle, just because this is such a long desk, we wanted to hold that extra weight great. And then over here holding the other side, instead of legs, we have one of the IKEA Alex drawers. Now before we get to the other side of the desk, let me show you what I have going on underneath here. So we've got some more storage. These drawers are also from Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods, one of the three. In here I store my safety eyes that are ready to be sold, as well as some additional envelopes here for shipping out stickers and whatnot. And then next to it we have a little basket with some shipping mailers. And then for my trash can, instead of using a trash can, because if you've ever tried to purchase a trash can, they are very expensive. And because I don't have like food garbage or anything out here, I was comfortable not spending the cash on an actual trash can. This is actually just a laundry basket, and I just put a garbage bag inside of there, and it's a lot bigger than most trash cans. So that is great because I do generate a lot of trash in the craft room, especially when I'm making stickers from all of that excess laminate and everything from the Cricut. So we use a laundry basket, which works. And then over here on top, we have my organizer with some acrylic paints in it. I organize them in Roy G. Biv order, of course. And on top, we have some cute little pastel paintbrushes. I actually just got these for Christmas recently and haven't had a chance to use them yet. Here we have some water pens for a different kind of paint, which is like a watercolor caked in pans sort of paint. If you're in the art community, you're gonna know what these are used for. We've got some colored pencils as well as some actual pencils here. And then these little forget-me-not flowers were made by a subscriber and sent to me. So I display them right there. And this is a little random, but this is a Sanrio card that my husband got for me, and I just thought that it was cute. So I leave it out right here because it's a really high quality card. And if you're gonna spend like $6 on a card, I'm not about to throw that away. And then over here we have all of my alcohol ink markers. These little containers I believe are from Amazon. I've had them for a long time, so I'll try to find them or something similar for you if you're interested in them. They are two different ones, but they work together. And then this is just a flower coaster. Behind here I have this little caddy that I keep all of my shipping stuff in. So I've got my thank you notes for when I ship stickers, my envelopes, stamps, little stickers with my logo on it for the backs of the envelopes, address stamps, all of this good stuff. I just keep in this little caddy because it's easy for me to pull out and have everything in one spot. Then we have this organizer in here that has all of the unsightly cords in to kind of hide that away as best that we can. And then this is a dehumidifier. I do live in a fairly humid part of the country. I don't live in like Florida or anything like that, but it can get humid in here. So I have this up on my desk behind my computer monitors here so that it's near my electronics and hopefully helps get rid of some of that moisture in the air the best that it can so that we don't have any mishaps with the electronics. Behind my art supplies here, as well as on this side behind my computers, I have this, I think it's made out of foam, but they're meant to help with sound insulation. So as I'm sitting here filming, we don't get an echo. This helps deaden the sound. And I do like that they look like little bricks because it kind of makes it look like a backsplash. And I really like it. So in these drawers, this is where I keep a lot of my craft supply stuff, the little things. So in the top drawer, we've got the hot glue gun. That is a must. I have some blush in here because sometimes I'll put that on plushies. We've got our wire cutters and little felt pieces for amigurumi, scissors, Sharpies, all that good stuff. In the second drawer, we have some pom-pom makers. We've got some, oh, those are the little things that I was talking about. They're pancaked watercolor. That's what I use those water pens for. We have some extra crochet hooks in here, including some ones that I made. These are my no-face crochet hooks that I made. And I also have my Cricut supplies in here, which I don't get out that often, to be honest with you, because mostly I just cut stickers, so I don't need a lot of that stuff. But I do have this little scraper for putting the laminate on the sticker paper. I have got the bigger one as well. Oh, and of course, fabric scissors, because if you're a crafter, which I assume you are after watching this video, you know that these are the sacred scissors that you do not use for anything else. My whole family knows you do not use Mom's fabric scissors for anything except for fabric. Otherwise, you get beat. I'm just kidding. But I will not be happy. In this drawer, we have some of my safety eye things. So we have some business cards, which is what I use to ship the eyes on. I have a hole puncher here by We Are Memory Keepers that I use to punch the holes for the eyes. And I like that you can make the hole punches different sizes. I have two UV lights, which I use to bake the resin for the eyes. I've got a tray here. We have a scissor sharpener as well as a little vacuum, which is nice for the tabletops because I use glitter, and you guys know glitters are like the herpes of crafts. In this fairly unorganized drawer, I have some paper towels and isopropyl alcohol wipes. Again, I use both of these for eye making. I have a silicone mat here that I will put down on the desktop to protect it whenever I'm doing a craft, so that way we don't get any scuffs or paint or anything stuck to the nice white desktop. We have a hole puncher in here that has my name on it from when I was teaching, because I used to be a teacher, if you did not know. And we've got some paper cutters. These I use for amigurumi plushies as neck stabilizers and dolls. And then down in the very bottom drawer here, we have some colored pencils and markers, some embroidery hoops, but mostly what's in here is sketch pads and different types of paper, water slide paper for making tumblers, you know, like the epoxy resin tumblers, tracing paper, watercolor paper, pretty much any kind of art paper is going to be in this drawer. And then back behind this, I call these my body bags. This is where I keep crochet plushies that I have made recently so that I can show them off on my YouTube channel here to tell you guys what I make every week. Every Monday we do a this week's makes and I show you what I've crocheted, and then we put them here in the body bags, and then once they are full they get zipped up and put into storage to take to my next market event where I sell them. This one is actually just about full, so we're going to need to put that out into storage soon. So let's take a look at my little desk area here. This adorable desk mat I got on Etsy. I will link it for you. The keyboard is from Amazon. It's a mechanical keyboard, but I did change the keycaps on it, which I will link for you as well. These Sanrio keycaps I made myself. I used to make artisan keycaps and I don't offer them anymore, so these unfortunately are pretty much one of a kind. This is a cloud wrist rest that I got on Amazon, as well as this little pastel one. My mouse I actually got from Miniso in the mall, which is like a Japanese store, and I love this mouse, but I can't link it for you. My main monitor is an iMac desktop in the blue color. I am a Mac girly. I grew up on Apple products, and I know that they aren't the best in terms of like gaming, which I like to do, but my brain just cannot comprehend how to use a PC as much as I've tried. I'm set in my ways now that I'm in my 30s. And then my second monitor, this is from Pixio, the brand. You can get them on Amazon. They have really adorable colored monitors. This one I got blue to match my Mac monitor. And then down below here, I just have some little tchotchkes and trinkets. We have a fun little fidget here here with some pastel keys. This is my stream deck. I use this when I am not only live streaming, but just in general too. They are essentially just hotkeys. So whenever I press a button, say I want to go onto YouTube, I just hit the YouTube button and then it will pull up my YouTube. Or if I want to pack orders, I hit this little button right here and then it will pull up all of my sources of orders. So Shopify, Etsy, etc. This is a little cinema roll that I got at Walmart. Here I have a Nintendo Switch dock that I will use to dock my Switch while I'm streaming. I do occasional streams of games, but not super often. Over here we have a pencil cup that I got at Home Goods with some of my pastel writing utensils and my gummy bear highlighter stick that I love. This is the Blue Snowball. It is a very popular mic that a lot of YouTubers and content creators use. I have this little pink fluffy thing on it. I like that it's pink and it kind of makes it look like it's wearing one of those like Russian hats, and I enjoy it greatly. And then I just stuck some Animal Crossing stickers on it that a subscriber sent me from Japan, and they are adorable. So I will use that to film and live stream on. Here we have my ring light that I will use while filming because of course every content creator needs a ring light because we got to get that glamour lighting, am I right? Over here we have a stand with some labels on it as well as my label printer. I like that this one is pink. It is by that brand, if you can read it. I got it on Amazon, and on top my friend Mandalora made this little pastel turtle for me. This came all the way from the United Kingdom, so she sits there and watches me while I work. And then next to the label printer, we have this beautiful lamp. I got it on Amazon, but look at how cool this bulb is. It is a fireworks bulb. Picked this up at Menards. I think it was on clearance for 99 cents, and it looks so cool. And during night, when the light isn't coming through here as harshly, it creates a little tiny bit of a purplish pink glow that just makes me so happy. Over here on top, we have my Cricut Maker. This baby pulls a lot of the weight of the business. So of course we need to give her her own spot. When I'm using the Cricut, I can just pull it out a little bit so that the mat doesn't hit that wall. Right here, I showed you some of my safety eyes already, but this is just a little paper tray that I got at Walmart, and I use it to put my sticker papers in here when I need to cut them. But for right now, they're holding my safety eyes, and I need to show off in a video that I'm about to film shortly here. Then on top, we have this desk mat that I also got on Amazon. It's got little tulips on it and this sweet little bunny. I have gotten some paint on it. This was the desk mat that I used in my old office. I had a riser sitting on it, so it was very heavy. So now that's like permanently scarred right there, but it's okay. I was using this in my old office, and then when I moved into the new one, I got a slightly larger desk mat. So this one I still love though, so I still have it here. Then down here in these drawers, so I didn't tell you, this middle desk is also from IKEA. We have two legs on that side, but then over here we're holding it up with the Alex drawers. So in here I keep all of my writing utensils, including some washi tape, my scissors that I use just for like everyday things, a little squishy that looks like a stick of butter to help for when I'm stressed. I did not mention this, but in addition to doing YouTube and running my small business full-time, I also work a seasonal job as a standardized test scorer. So that's like a 9-to-5 normal person, air quotes, normal person job that I work. So for that is what I need a lot of the actual office supplies for: sticky notes, papers, pens, all of that good stuff, my planner. So I do that only during the springtime, but that's also why I have 2 monitors for that job. It's very demanding in terms of attention. So I have 2 monitors to help with that job. Then in this drawer, we have just some random things like some blue light glasses as well as some actual glasses, both of which are heart-shaped. We have some stitch markers for crochet. These little things that subscribers sent me, like this adorable Sailor Moon dress. I picked this up at the convention. We've just got a lot of little tchotchkes and trinkets in here. We have this adorable strawberry, I almost forgot the name of this for a second, strawberry timer, which I also use during my seasonal job because I do need to keep time of things. We've got a ruler back there. This is a little external hard drive for when I'm traveling and filming. In the next drawer, this is a hodgepodge. This is my toddler's favorite drawer to go through. In here I have a calculator as well as some extra magnets for the fridge, some tape. Oh, actually, I need to put this up on the refrigerator. This I got, it is a handmade clay magnet that I purchased at a market, and definitely need to put that on the fridge. But a lot of these little plushies were made for me by subscribers, and I like to have them in here because when I'm working and feeling burnt out, I like to just come in here and fiddle with them and play with them. And in here I also have some pins and some stickers back there that I've collected at conventions. Down in this drawer, we have, again, just kind of a hodgepodge of things. I have my planner here, an extra coaster. We have our microphones that we use to film the Cosmic Couch podcast, a little duster that I can use to dust off these white desks. I will say these desks show everything. If you decide to get these for your craft room or office, just know you're going to have to be cleaning them constantly. And then finally, in the bottom drawer here, we just have some extra filming equipment, nothing too exciting down there. And then over underneath the desk here, this is a fun little interior corridor that I feel like would be a lot of fun to hide in if you were a child. But this is where I keep my tripod. These are my sticker containers. So these are actually meant for 4x6 photos. I picked these up at Michael's and I use them to store all of my stickers. They are really convenient because they hide away nicely, but also they're nice and compact, so I can take them to conventions without risking losing stickers and whatnot, and they pack away really nice and compact in the car. I have an additional space heater here. I don't need to use it often, but we have had some far below freezing temperatures here recently, so we brought this out here just for some additional heat should we need it. And then I also have a little dog bed down there. I have 2 dogs. I have a golden doodle and a Maltese Shih Tzu, and sometimes they like to come out and hang out with me out here. So on this side of the desk, we have a storage unit. So this is the desk that I mainly use for sewing. If I do sew, I also make my eyes on it. I will paint on it. I'll just pick up this mat and then throw down my silicone mat to protect it. This desk is extra wide, so it's especially nice for when I am sewing large garments and whatnot to have all of that additional working space, but it is no longer available at IKEA, I don't believe, unfortunately. But let me tell you how this desk is being held up, because this is something that we had to do some trial and error with in order to get it to work with extra storage. So back in the back corner there is one singular leg on this desk, and then what holds the end up are these units from IKEA, and I don't remember the name of them. I want to say they are called the Besta unit, but they are push to open, and this holds even more storage. So right here we have a bunch of additional safety eyes. We have my UV epoxy resin, some poly pellets back there that I use to make plushies weighted, We have blocking boards, my sewing tin with thread and needles and whatnot in there. We have some felt down below, as well as some binders with patterns in them. That entire binder right there is just full of fan mail and drawings and letters and cards that I've received over my YouTube career, and I do not throw anything away. So if you ever send me anything, it goes right there in that binder. So to make this part of the desk secure, we actually screwed from underneath up into the desktop so that it does not slide off, it does not wiggle. But this took a little bit of trial and error, especially with the rug right here. We had to level it out. All of this is shown in the vlog that we are decorating the shed in. By the way, I did not mention the rug. This rug is such high quality. It is so plush and so nice on the feet. It is from Wayfair, and I am very, very happy with this purchase. It's one of my favorite things in the shed because it is so cozy. It really gives a homey feel to the entire shed. So I highly recommend this rug. Plus, I love the scallop edge. How cute is that? Then on this side of the desk, again, we can get another view of the dog bed there. So if we move this chair, we have another one of these Ektorp. I don't know what they're called, but another one of these little storage units. So this is where I keep some of my lesser used items. So we have rhinestones, we've got planner things and charms, we've got resin molds down there, a ton of thread for sewing, pom-poms and wire, we've got a bunch of ribbon. All of these containers that are clear I purchased at Target, and they were a great deal. I think that the large one was like $3 with the lid. Oh, I also have some of my embroidery thread in here as well. Actually, all of my embroidery thread is in here. So these are great from Target because they fit perfectly. You can stack them multiple high as well as multiple wide in these cabinets. So I use that for additional craft storage. And then here is my other Lily of the Valley lamp. Ryan just looked it up for me. These are the Eket, E-K-E-T from IKEA. So that one and that one are both the Eket system that we just screwed in to the desktop to kind of makeshift this Frankenstein desk. Anyways, we are nearing the end of the tour. So this is the only window where I did not do the entire thing with the window cling and the stained glass because I like looking out the window. If it's snowing, it's really beautiful to watch as I'm working, but I love the way that the light comes through here and creates this rainbow glow on my desk space. It's just so fun. My desk chair is from Amazon. I loved it because it's purple, so it matches the brand. It's very comfortable, and it also has this little footrest that you can put up as well, and you can recline it if you like to, so it's very, very comfy. This is a pillow that looks like a bow that I use for a lumbar support. I picked that up at TJ Maxx, and I like it because it really helps my back. Although this chair did come with a lumbar support pillow, this one is just a little bit cuter, and I like how soft it is. Also, as a big and tall person, I can testify that this chair I think is meant for big and tall people. I am not light, and I am also, as I mentioned, 6 feet tall. My entire back and neck is supported, which is great. And last but certainly not least, we have the shelving above my desk area. So these are the same lac shelves that are over by the couch from IKEA. We have 2 long ones right here, and then over here we have a shorter one. Underneath the shelves here, we have this rope light. This is from IKEA. I don't know what it's called, but I will link it for you. And it just creates a nice little glow, but also it helps, especially at night as I'm sitting at my computer, you know, looking at that blue light. It's nice having some yellow light to kind of contradict it. On my shelves here is just things that I love, whether they were sent to me by subscribers, given to me by friends, or just collected over my life. I like to display it here. So this is a little goose that I crocheted. This moon and star shelf I got from a wonderful friend and subscriber. Her name is Jillian. She's a quadriplegic resin artist. She made this for me and gave it to me the very first time that I met her in person. And then on here, I just have a bunch of little tchotchkes. Somebody sent me, this is Celestial Light, which is really cool because, you know, I'm the Celestial Homebody and I did not realize that there was an actual gemstone named Celestial Light. This is my character from Animal Crossing. I made that out of clay years ago. Here we have some cute little pastel storage boxes that do actually open. I got these at Marshall's or Home Goods, and on top I have my Applejack signed by Ashley Ball, the voice actor behind Applejack, as well as Rainbow Dash. We have my Pro controller that I modified to have a pink shell with the pastel buttons, my headphones. This is a shadow box that I made of my original ice blue Nintendo 3DS, along with some of my favorite game cards in there, Nintendogs, Tinkerbell, and Style Savvy. I could not find my Animal Crossing Wild World cart to put in there, but it is one of my favorites as well. This is an Animal Crossing gyroid that I made out of clay. Up top, we have my Steam Deck on top of some books that are absolutely not important at all. I just liked that they were blue, so I used it to create a little bit of height difference. My Steam Deck I also modified. I swapped the shells on that myself, and I felt like I was a surgeon. It took me like 6 hours to do, and it was a pain, but look at how pretty it looks. This is a Princess Rosalina pop that a subscriber made for me because Princess Rosalina is one of my favorite characters, and I always say that I wish that I had a pop of her, but they don't make one, unfortunately. So a wonderful friend made this for me, and look at that work. It's incredible. This mushroom lamp I get a lot of comments on. You guys love the mushroom lamp. This, unfortunately, I can't link for you because it's from Home Goods and I got it like 4 years ago. So you might get lucky and be able to find something similar, but unfortunately I can't link it. Over across here, we have a Funko Pop of Merida, another one of my favorite characters, and a Princess Celestia. We have Reese from Animal Crossing, my old keyboard that I loved when I first purchased it because it looks like conversation hearts, like the colors of it. But I did get my new RGB pastel keyboard. So this one got retired and put up on the shelf as like a little memento. We have my Rosalina amiibo figure here, as well as a Miffy head and some purple candles that are electric. And finally over here, my LED light of the moon. Over up top here, we have a bunch more little trinkets. We have like my Polaroid camera, which has not worked in years, but I like the color, so I put it up there. We have a Boba Pusheen and a little Alakreamy. Alakreamy, if you did not know, is my favorite Pokemon. That's why you see her represented here. Look at how beautiful this is. I got this from a subscriber at a convention that we were both vending at. It has all the Animal Crossing characters on it, and it's like a little lantern. We actually did a swap where I gave her some plushies and then she gave me that. Moving across here, we have my old Nintendo Switch. Again, I swapped the shells on the Joy-Con, and this really cool 3D printed dock cover that I got on Etsy forever ago. Then we have our Zelda Tears of the Kingdom amiibo. This ice cream vase here I got on Etsy. It's 3D printed. It's really cool. And then this is also from my friend Jillian, same person who made this shelf. This is a little Paisley, my golden doodle, and look at how precious she is. We have some of my favorite nostalgic Wii games up here, a little Celeste Lego set that somebody sent me that I put together, and then finally this vase plant holder is from IKEA. It is pink. It kind of looks like a bell pepper, but from the top it looks like a flower, and I love it either way. And it holds this nice dangly plant. Oh my goodness, look at the sun coming through there right now. Beautiful. Well, there you have it, my entire craft room studio tour. This was many months in planning and execution, getting it to be homey and cozy in a space where I really feel like I could create freely in and help those creative juices flow. If I missed anything, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll read them, and I will do my very best to link everything for you in the description box, although I might run out of characters in the description box to put all the links. So if I missed something, just leave me a comment and I will respond to your comment. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me on today's video. And hey, if you want to stick around for some artsy content, occasionally some gaming content, some general craft nerdiness, then of course I invite you to hit that subscribe button and join the Homebody family. Before we say goodbye, I have to say endless thanks to our members in the Cosmic Couch Club. You guys keep this little galaxy spinning. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.